Good morning, chatties. For your physics test, you're gonna go to the work of scientist. That's unit one, lesson one, work of scientist, and look at we have to look at the scientific method. Okay, you have to know what the scientific method is here. Okay, it's a scientific procedure which scientists approach an investigation. Okay, so what are the main stages of the scientific method? You ask a question, you formulate a hypothesis, you test the hypothesis, and this can be done. You can validate a hypothesis with two tests, and those two tests are fieldwork and experimentation. Then the fourth stage is analyze results and draw conclusions. Okay, so remember the dinosaur theory, extinction theory. So that's a good way to memorize the four stages of the scientific method. Next one is matter and its measurement. Okay, you will have to define what matter is. Okay, what are physical quantities? Okay, you will have to know also what is measurement. So basically, anything that has a physical quantity can be measured. Remember that there are some properties of matter are subjective, and those cannot be measured. So physical quantities are only those quantities that can be measured. Okay, how do we measure it? We measure using the International System of Units. Okay, the International System of Units, it's a standard way of measuring, and it's widely used in science and technology, and it uses 7 base units. The 7 base units you can see here, those are length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. I will ask about length, mass, time, and temperature. You don't have to worry about electric current, amount of substance, or luminous intensity. Okay, you have to know the units of length, which are meter, the units for mass, which are kilogram, the time, second, and temperature, Kelvin. Notice how they are written in lowercase, and look at the symbols. For meter is M, kilogram, kg in lowercase. Second is S, and Kelvin is in capital K. It's of the four that I'm going to ask is the only one that is in capital letters, K for Kelvin. Okay, I'm also going to ask about what is scientific notation. You don't have to do an exercise on scientific notation, but I will ask how is it used? What is it used for? Okay, you don't have to do one exercise. And then for this lesson, that would be it. Okay. Okay, the next one is lesson length and surface area. You have to know what length is. Okay, make sure that you understand that the meter is the basic unit of length. Okay, and it has multiples, which are larger units than the basic one, and that you have submultiples that are smaller units than the basic one. Okay, the multiple units are decameter, hectometer, and kilometer. On the submultiples, you have decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter. Okay, those are based on the decimal system, which means that they can increase or decrease in size by a factor of 10. So make sure that you understand that if you're going towards the submultiple units, you have to multiply by 10. And if you're going towards the multiple units, you have to divide by 10. So if you're going towards the bigger units, which are the multiple units, you have to divide by 10 because they're getting larger. And if you're going towards the submultiple units, that means they're getting smaller, you have to multiply by 10. Okay. You don't have to know anything about this sensitivity of a ruler. It's only for you to know how rulers are or measuring gadgets are sometimes very accurate or very sensible, and others are not so sensible or so accurate. Okay, when we're going to convert units, yes, you're going to have unit conversion. Okay, so we can convert units from one system to another one. For example, we have the, let me just scroll down, we have the English system of units. I think that was in the other lesson. But if you have unit conversion, it's only a way to convert, for example, from your basic unit into your multiple or submultiple units. That's it for unit conversion. So you're going to have to convert from, for example, meters into decameters, or from meters into decimeters. Okay, I know, I can remember there's one exercise about converting from miles to kilometers, and that's the only case that I'm going to give you for conversion between units. For example, one is English. Miles are in the English units, okay, which is still being used in North America and in some in some European countries, like for example the United Kingdom. Okay. Other than that, please understand what surface area is, know its definition, okay, and know the fact that the square meter is the basic unit for area, and it's more of the same. You have multiples and submultiples. And then understand that to convert from the basic unit into the rest of the units, you have to divide if you're going to a bigger unit, or you have to multiply if you're going to a smaller unit. Okay, so look at this example too. It's very good to understand. So let's go to the next one, which is going to be mass and volume. Okay, so this is the lesson about mass and volume. You have to know the definition of mass. Again, you have here the table where you're shown, or where you're given the basic unit, and then you have the rest of the multiples and submultiples. Again, you have to know how to convert from from the basic one into a multiple and submultiple by 10. If you're going to a larger unit, you have to divide by 10. If you're going to a smaller unit, you need to multiply by 10. You need to understand what volume is. Okay, what is the basic unit for volume? It is the cubic meter. Again, you have multiples and you have submultiples, and to go to larger multiples, you have to divide by 1000, and if you're going to smaller units like submultiples, you need to multiply times 10. You have to know the difference between volume and capacity. Capacity, remember, it's how much volume you have in a container. So if you have a container that is halfway filled, then you have to tell me how much volume is inside that container based on the level of liquid that it has. Okay, so here you have an example of volume and capacity. Notice that the units for capacity are liters, the liters, okay, liters. And we multiply or divide by 1000 because remember that volume is in 3 dimensions, so it's 10 times 10 times 10. Okay, so it's the same decimal system. The only thing that it's 10 to the power of 3 because it's 3 dimensions, but it's always a decimal system for conversions as well. I'm not going to ask to convert between liters because you have already done a lot of exercises converting. So that's okay for in the meantime. That's okay if you only got volume working out. Okay, we don't have to worry about capacity to convert from capacity units. So don't worry about that. Just understand the difference between volume and capacity. Okay, we have some measuring devices such as digital scales. Okay, and there are also another ways to measure the volumes of liquids, and it's a graduated cylinder. And we also have beakers that have graduations or marks inside of in the glass, so that you can see what the volume is. Okay. Other than that, this is not going to be in the exam. The meniscus. The meniscus is just the level of the liquid inside a graduated cylinder, okay, and or test tubes. You can also you can also see that on test tubes. So this is only a deformation because of tension in the surface of the liquid. So the correct way to look at the meniscus is horizontally, and you have to look at the lowest part of the curve of the liquid, okay? But that's not going to be in the test. These volumetric containers or digital scales are not going to be on the test. Okay, so let's continue on to the Discover one. Discovery one, this is safety in the lab. You will have to recognize what extinguishers are used for, okay? So a fire extinguisher, what is it used for? Let's see what else. Okay, laboratory safety rules. The first thing to do is locate the security equipment. So you will be asked about this. What is the first thing to do when you go into a lab to perform an experiment? So the first thing to do is to locate the security equipment, okay, and personal protection items. You have to recognize certain signs for hazardous reactions. So I'm going to be asking for one of the symbols so that you recognize what it stands for, okay? So make sure that you understand these symbols, these hazardous reaction symbols, okay? You have like 9 of them. So make sure that you recognize one of those and tell me what is it preventing you of, okay? And lab work, this is calculating density. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you extra credit if you can solve for the density of a substance, okay? That's the only thing that I'm going to ask for in this one, because I'm aware that we didn't go through 1.6, okay? This is lesson 1.6 and we didn't do it. I'm aware of that, but I'm just going to give you extra credit if you can solve for the density of a substance. Finally, we have from myths to science. So make sure that you understand what myths are, what were they used for, okay? I'm going to ask about false beliefs that ignore science, okay? So you have to understand where does astronomy and astrology come from, okay? And understand that, let me see here, that myths helped reassure people and provided a false sense of security. Remember that back then they didn't know how to explain phenomena, natural phenomena, so they came up with myths to explain those natural phenomena, and that's how myths were created, and that's how they felt more reassured, even though it's a false sense of security, okay? Like I said, understand where astronomy and astrology come from. What is astronomy? What is astrology? Please understand the definition and know it, okay, for the test. So that's it for this test, Charis. I wish you good luck. And with this review, this quick review that I just did for you, I'm sure you're going to be doing very good on the test, okay? Best of luck for you today. Bye-bye.